So Arjun, how was your experience in Saudi in raising fund? And if you've raised from other countries, and how would you advise founders to be prepared to raise money in the kingdom?
I think our journey is very typical of most startups. We had an angel round, then we did a seed round, then we did a seed extension round, then we did a Series A round. And I think our story has always had to change. In the beginning, it was about focused on one market, solving one problem. Our deck was very simple. As we became a little bit bigger, we talked about a region, not a specific country. We spoke about multiple verticals, not just one industry. And we spoke about how we've already, generated X results. The most recent round, it was purely about growth. It's about being global, as John mentioned. It's not about one country or one market or one region. It's about how can you add value to the global industry and not just one country. So I think you need to focus on this journey. And if you try and pitch global growth on day one, you're probably not going to be taken very seriously. And if you pitch a hyper-focused vision for one market when you're doing a growth equity round, you're probably not going to be as attractive to an investor. So I think it's about building that business up and changing that narrative depending on what stage you're in. In Saudi Arabia, one of our largest external shareholders is Wide Ventures. And the process with Wide Ventures was a fantastic process. I know you know them well. I can't say anything different. But they've been a huge value add. And the reason I think they were excited to be part of our journey is they saw the value we were bringing not just to the market, but also the innovation we were doing in terms of technology, in terms of AI. They were very pleased with that, and they wanted to encourage that kind of innovation even in Saudi Arabia. So that's what helped us attract investment from Saudi Arabia.
Great. Thomas, how was your experience raising fund in Saudi, and how would you advise founders to be prepared for it?
Well, I agree with all that's been said just now. We are raising actually at the moment right now. The negotiations are ongoing, so I won't deep dive more, but yes. As it was said, and as generally speaking, yes, you have to prove that you have a good product, that your growth is steady, that you're not wasting money, and even better, that you're not losing money. That's our case, and we're proud of that. But yes, I think it's about hyper-focusing on the market that you're in, particularly in Saudi Arabia, to show that you're a potential added value to the projects and to the companies here in Saudi. So if you can demonstrate that, particularly if you focus on the, let's say, the political supported ones as the Jigab project, you are sure that you will be able to make an impact and to convince more efficiently that your company has a place here in Saudi, and you will be able to raise from local investor.
I have one more question in 1 minute and 10 seconds. And quick answers. What obstacles, I'll start with you, John, back to you. What obstacles you faced in the Saudi market, and how you navigate your way to overcome those obstacles?
So the hardest part for us to explain our solution to the hoteliers was pretty hard, because some of them actually did not speak English. So there was a language obstacle.
Okay.
But we are working through that, because at the end of the day, people who will be using the most will be the guests. And they also probably will be not speaking fluent English. But we utilize the global chat apps. So I'll be using my own country's chat app to check in and then process payment, which will actually solve the core aspect of the problem. It will be much easier to make everybody fluent in English, but we're trying to solve that through the solution right now.
Okay, great. Mu'taz?
Well, the challenge is, I'm talking from a Saudi perspective, so maybe another angle of that. The perception of new players in the market is a bit challenging. So you need to prove yourself within time that you're up to the task and you can find a footprint, within the domain that you work on. The second thing is about how to navigate through the issues. In Saudi, there is, how can I say it? Someone who's coming from outside, he thinks that there is a manual you can read to solve your issue. But no, it's like any part of the world that for the issue you need to, I like the word adapt to solve. That's the word that I can use. You need to have the way to be flexible to solve the issues. So there is no straightforward approach to solve the issues. And if I want also more specific, is the geography of Saudi. The geography of Saudi is not an issue, but if you want to expand, you need to understand each geography, opportunities, challenges. Especially we're talking from logistics. So logistics for us, distance, availability, all of that is an important component.
Okay.
There is another thing is the regulatory perspective. Okay, it's not a challenge. Used to be a serious challenge, but now it's how to approach the regulator and address your issue in the right way.
Okay.
If you don't know how to address your issue, if you don't know how to have your business case clear in front of the regulator, then good luck. The other side of it, understanding the market from the challenges of the landscape of the business is also something you need to be ready for.
Okay.
I don't want to take more than 1 minute, but I
Just
hope I
because
covered. Yes.
I'm running out of time. Arjun, in
I'll keep
short.
it very short.
Yeah, sure.
The biggest challenge I had in Saudi Arabia is the challenge I have everywhere. I sell to large construction companies, logistics companies, mining companies, very, very traditional businesses. Convincing them why they need technology to be more efficient, be more sustainable, is always a challenge. And I think we were very lucky that Vision 2030 is such an important vision and such a big movement in Saudi Arabia, because now that vision is convincing everybody, let's take a look at technology. And that's being the catalyst for us with the sector we work in. And I think it's a fantastic time for any startup, any new product to come to Saudi Arabia because of this vision. Because I think it's going to foster innovation and help industries embrace technology to solve their problems.
Great. Thomas?
Yes, so a bit of all of that, but for us particularly regulatory, not issue but complexity, has sometimes been a challenge, and I would say to address it, you need to be aware of it particularly. So we use visual data, right? So one of the main provenance of that is drone imagery. And to fly a drone in Saudi Arabia used to be quite complex. But then, as it was stated, you anticipate, you take time, and you learn how to deal with the regulator, and all goes well.
Okay.